In a quiet corner of the galaxy, a small alien ship floated above a burned and broken battlefield. The ship belonged to the Traylan, a peaceful and curious race known for watching, not fighting. Inside, a group of alien scientists watched the planet below. They were not here for war. They came to study something strange, something terrifying. The war between humans and the Zarn had ended only days ago. Smoke still rose from the ground. Broken machines and burned bodies lay everywhere. But what shocked the Traylan was not the battle. It was what the humans did after the fighting stopped. The camera on the Traylan ship zoomed in. A human soldier walked through the ruins. His armor was black, scratched, and covered in ash. He carried a heavy bag, dragging it across the ground. Then he stopped near a destroyed enemy tank. The Traylan scientists leaned closer to their screen. What happened next made them freeze. The soldier sat down, pulled out a piece of melted metal. From the bag, it was part of the enemy tank, and looked at it like food. Then, slowly, he bit into it. The sound of crunching metal filled the ship's speakers. One Traylan gasped. Another dropped his notepad. "Is he eating it?" one asked in fear. The metal piece disappeared bite by bite. The soldier chewed, calmly, as if he were enjoying it. Then he reached into the bag again and pulled out something worse, a piece of Zarn armor still glowing faintly with energy. He chewed that too, and smiled. The Traylan ship fell silent. The lead scientist, Elder Varn, turned pale. "This is not normal," he whispered. "This is not biology. This is something else." They ran tests on the video, scanned the human's temperature, body movements, and energy patterns. The results were impossible. The human's body was not breaking down. It was adapting, growing stronger. One younger scientist asked, "Do all humans do this?" No one answered. The question itself was too scary. They sent the video back to the Galactic Science Union. Within hours, leaders from 50 alien species saw the footage. Many refused to believe it. Others called it a trick. But some knew better. The Zarn, who had just lost the war, confirmed it. They had seen human soldiers collecting battlefield remains. They thought the humans were cleaning up. But now it was clear they were feeding. Rumors spread across the stars. Humans can digest anything. Humans eat the war itself. Some laughed, some panicked. But all watched. Meanwhile, on the ruined planet, the human soldier stood and wiped his mouth. He looked up at the sky, straight at the Traylan ship, though he couldn't see it. Then he said something that the Traylan translator picked up. "War isn't over. It's only cooking." Elder Varn stared at the screen in horror. What did he mean? Was this soldier just one of many? Was this a new kind of human? One that used war not as a tool, but as food? Back on the Traylan ship, panic started. To rise, they had come to watch, to learn. But now they wanted to run. They had seen enough. They knew one terrible truth. The humans were not just winning wars. They were digesting them. The video was classified, but it was too late. It leaked into the dark channels of galactic space. Pirates, traders, even mercenaries saw it. And with each retelling, the story grew darker. "They don't need food," one message said. "They eat machines." "They eat pain," another claimed. "They eat war," said the last message. And that one stuck. Across space, alien leaders held emergency meetings. Should they fear the humans? Should they study them? Or should they strike before humans became something far worse? On Earth, humans had no idea what was happening. They thought the war with the Zarn was over. Soldiers were returning home. Some brought trophies. Some brought weapons. Others brought strange items, pieces of alien tech that humans were trying to understand, or maybe absorb. The soldier who ate the armor? His name was Commander Reed. To him, it was just survival. In the darkest moments of war, his body had changed. He could eat what no one else could. His body healed faster. He became stronger, smarter, and he wasn't alone. More soldiers like him existed. Quiet, hidden, changed by war, or maybe born for it. The galaxy was watching, waiting, wondering. What happens when humans stop eating food? and start eating. War? No one had the answer. But everyone felt the fear, because if war made humans stronger, what would peace turn them into? Far away from Earth, inside a secret alien space station, 10 scientists from different species sat around a large table. A blue screen glowed in the middle, showing the same terrifying video. A human soldier eating a piece of armor from the Zarn War. The video had been played 100 times, but it still shocked everyone in the room. The head of the science team was a tall, gray-skinned creature named Dralvek. He worked for the Galactic Science Union, the most powerful science group in the galaxy. He stared at the screen, his eyes wide with fear. "We ran the tests again," said a small green alien named Piri. "The human's body digested the metal. Not just chewed it, digested it, broke it down, turned it into energy." "That's not normal," said another scientist. "That's a weapon, a living weapon." Dralvek nodded. "It gets worse." He pressed a button. Another screen appeared. This time it showed a medical report. It was stolen from a human lab on Mars. The report was about a human soldier, codename Reed, the same man who ate the Zarn armor. The report said Reed's stomach acid was 10 times stronger than normal. It could break down metal, plastic, even alien biotech. His blood cells had changed too. They could absorb poison, even nerve gas. The scientists sat in silence. "They are adapting," whispered Dralvek. "Every battle makes them stronger. They don't just fight war, they digest it." One scientist stood up in panic. "This is not evolution. This is not science. This is horror. What if they start eating weapons? Data? Memories?" Piri added. "What if they already are?" Another video played. This one showed a human battlefield doctor. He touched a piece of broken alien tech. Then his hand glowed for a moment, and he understood how the machine worked. Within minutes, he fixed it. Then he changed it to make it even better. Stronger, faster. How did he do that? Someone asked. The answer was on the next report. The tech was made with organic memory crystals, Dralvek explained. Somehow the human skin absorbed part of it, like learning by touching, by digesting information. Panic grew. The galaxy had seen many wars, but never like this. Never against an enemy that could eat the battlefield and grow smarter from it. Dralvek stood slowly. "I sent this report to the Galactic Council," he said, "and they laughed at me. They don't believe it? They will," he said, "when it's too late." Meanwhile, in a small medical base on Earth, Reed sat alone in a room. He stared at a piece of alien metal in his hand. He didn't eat it this time. He just watched it. It started to glow softly. His doctor, a woman named Sarah Kim, stood outside the room. She looked worried. She had seen his blood tests. She had seen how fast his wounds healed. She had seen the way he changed. "He's not just human anymore," she whispered to herself. "He's something new." Reed looked up at the glass. He couldn't hear her, but he knew what she was thinking. He gave a small smile. "War changes people," he said quietly. "I just changed more than most." Back in space, the secret alien meeting was ending. The scientists were scared, angry, confused. But one thing was clear, the humans were not done. They were learning, evolving, eating war and growing stronger with every bite. "We must prepare," said Dralvek. "If we wait too long, the next time we fight them, we won't be fighting soldiers." "Then what will we be fighting?" someone asked. Dralvek looked down at the report. "We'll be fighting what war made them into." A long silence filled the room. Then one by one, the scientists left. The screen kept playing the same video on repeat. Reed, sitting on the battlefield, eating a piece of armor, smiling. The galaxy had always feared war, but now it feared something worse, a species that could digest it. On a small border moon called Delvar 9, the land was silent. Smoke floated above black soil. Crushed machines and broken weapons lay everywhere. The battle was over. The Zarn army was destroyed. The humans had won. But something strange was happening now. A group of alien scouts hid on a high cliff, watching the battlefield below. They were not soldiers. They were spies sent by the Yalari Empire. They had heard stories about humans collecting pieces of war, stories about humans eating metal. At first, the Yalari leaders didn't believe it, but now they wanted to see the truth with their own eyes. What they saw made their blood run cold. Human soldiers moved quietly across the field. They were not cheering, not celebrating. They walked with slow, careful steps. They picked up broken weapons, melted armor, and even parts of fallen enemies. One soldier kneeled down, pulled off a Zarn arm, and placed it inside a special bag. "What are they doing?" whispered one Yalari scout. "They're not cleaning the battlefield," another said in a low voice. "They're harvesting it." More humans arrived. They wore strange black suits with glowing lines on the back. They didn't speak. They only gathered. One pulled out a tool that scanned a piece of metal, then injected it into his own arm. The metal disappeared into his skin. The scouts shook in fear. "Did he just absorb that?" one asked. "Yes," said the leader. "They're digesting the battlefield just like the stories said." Suddenly, one of the humans looked up. He stared at the cliff where the scouts were hiding. His eyes glowed. Red for just a second. The scouts froze. "He saw us," one whispered, but the human didn't attack. He only smiled. Then he turned and walked away. That smile scared them more than any weapon. Back on their ship, the Yalari scouts sent a full report. Video, scans, data. Their message was simple. Humans are not gathering supplies. They are feeding. The message spread fast. Many alien governments went into panic mode. Some called it lies. Others believed it fully. One message from a Sarkin admiral said, "Do not leave your dead behind. Do not leave your weapons behind. If you do, the humans will take them, and they will become them." Meanwhile, in a secret human lab under the surface of Delvar 9, scientists were working on something new. Inside the lab, pieces of Zarn armor floated in green tanks. Small drones cut them apart and injected them into human DNA samples. Dr. Lin, the head of the lab, watched the process with quiet excitement. "We learn faster after every battle," she said. "Their weapons are now our weapons, their skin, now our shield." Beside her stood Commander Reed, the soldier who once ate armor on the battlefield. Now he was more than human. His blood carried nanobots. His bones had grown stronger. His senses were sharper than ever. "They fear us," Reed said calmly. "They should," Dr. Lin replied. "War feeds us." Outside the lab, the battlefield was quiet again. The collection teams had finished their work. But now something new appeared. Giant machines shaped like insects crawled across the ground. They were not weapons. They were digesters. They crushed broken tech, enemy flesh, and battlefield waste into fuel. A thick, glowing liquid flowed into storage tanks. Fuel for what? Nobody knew. Not yet. Back in space, alien leaders held another emergency meeting. They stared at the new reports from Delvar 9. One leader, a tall insect-like alien, stood up and shouted, "This is not war anymore, this is farming. The humans are treating the battlefield like a feeding ground." The others didn't argue. "They're not just taking technology," another leader said. "They're taking strength, they are building something, preparing for something." "What are they preparing for?" asked one young officer. No one answered, but everyone was thinking the same thing. The humans were no longer just fighting wars. They were using war, feeding on it, growing from it, changing because of it. The next battle would not be about land, or control, or power. It would be a test to see what the humans had become, and if they could still be stopped. Deep in the heart of a peaceful alien world called Naraxis 3, a secret mission was about to begin. A scientist named Kalor, from the wise and peaceful Talari race, had made a dangerous choice. He would sneak into a human war camp to find out the truth. He had seen the reports, the videos, the battlefield collections, the feeding, but he didn't want to believe it. Maybe it's all lies, Kalor told himself. Maybe humans are still just human. He disguised himself as a trade worker and entered the camp. It was cold and quiet. Human soldiers walked with calm, sharp eyes. None of them smiled. They didn't speak much either. They moved like machines, strong, silent, focused. Kaylor kept his head low and walked past the guards. Inside a large metal tent, he found something strange. There were machines everywhere and floating tanks full of glowing liquid. Inside the tanks were pieces of alien tech, body parts, and energy cores. Human scientists stood around the tanks, taking notes. Then Kaylor saw it. A human soldier stepped into a round chamber. A machine sprayed him with a mist of green light. His body shivered and then changed. His skin became thicker. His muscles grew tighter. Strange markings appeared on his arms. Zarn symbols. He wasn't wearing armor. His skin had become armor. The scientist next to him smiled. Upgrade successful. Kaylor's hands began to shake. This was not science. This was absorption. Another screen showed more data. It explained that this soldier had absorbed energy from 5 different alien species. He could breathe in poison, walk in fire, and heal from plasma wounds. Kaylor couldn't believe what he was reading. The humans were not just fighting to survive. They were evolving through war. Kaylor quickly pulled out a small data chip and began recording everything. He knew he had to bring this truth to the galaxy before it was too late. But then, he was caught. A voice spoke behind him. "You're not one of us." Kaylor turned, around slowly. Commander Reed stood there, arms crossed, eyes cold. His skin glowed faintly with blue light. Something inside him was different, stronger, not just human. Kaylor tried to speak. "I'm just here to spy," Reed said, "to confirm your fears. And now you have." Kaylor backed away. "You're changing. You're using war to grow stronger. This is wrong." Reed nodded. "Wrong. Maybe, but it works. Every battle makes us better. Every enemy makes us smarter. You fight to win. We fight to learn. And we've learned a lot." "But why?" Kaylor asked. "Why become monsters?" Reed walked closer. "Because the galaxy doesn't respect weakness. You think peace will save you. It won't. Peace is only safe for those who can survive war. We're not becoming monsters. We're becoming what war made us into." Kaylor held out the data chip. "I'm taking this to the council." Reed smiled. "Let them see. Let them know what we've become. It won't stop us." Kaylor ran. He escaped the camp, with the data. Barely. But he made it off-world and the message was sent. It shocked the galaxy. The video showed everything. The tank experiments, the armor skin, the feeding, the evolution. Alien leaders watched with growing fear. One council member stood and said, "They are no longer using weapons. They are the weapons." Another said, "War doesn't break them, it builds them." A third whispered, "What if war isn't changing them? What if they were made for it?" And far from the council, on Earth, the labs continued their work. More soldiers entered the chambers. More upgrades were made. Alien technology became part of human biology. Dr. Lin watched a test subject walk through fire. He didn't burn. His skin healed in seconds. His eyes glowed silver. "He can breathe in space now," she said softly. The vacuum didn't kill him. Reed stood beside her. "We're close. One more battle, and we'll be ready." "For what?" she asked. Reed turned to her. "For whatever the galaxy throws next." Somewhere out there, other races were preparing for peace talks. Others were building weapons, but none of them understood the truth. The humans weren't preparing for peace. They were digesting war and becoming something new. Something that couldn't be stopped. A cold wind blew across the frozen world of Virex 7. The battlefield was quiet, covered in ice and broken machines. Human and alien bodies lay frozen where they had fallen. But something was still moving, deep under the snow. A small human machine crawled through the ruins. It looked like a spider made of black metal. Its legs clicked softly as it collected samples, alien blood, melted armor, broken tech. Then it drilled into the ground, pulled out a glowing crystal, and swallowed it. The spider-bot sent a signal. Back on Earth, deep inside a hidden lab, the signal arrived. Dr. Lin smiled. "We found it," she said. "The final piece." Commander Reed stood beside her. His eyes were not normal anymore. They glowed softly, one blue, one red. His skin looked like smooth metal, but it was still alive. He was not just a soldier now. He was a creation of war. "What is it?" he asked. "The memory core of the Virex species," Dr. Lin replied. "It holds their science, their language, their history, all in one crystal." Reed nodded. "And we're going to digest it." The lab came to life. Machines opened. Needles moved. The memory core was placed into a tank of silver liquid. A test subject stepped forward. He was young, maybe 20 years old, but already enhanced. His body had absorbed fire tech from the Sulari and healing skin from the Tavari. Now he would absorb knowledge. As the machine lowered the crystal into his body, his eyes rolled back. The lights flickered. Data flowed into his brain. His body shook, but he didn't scream, he smiled. "I can see it," he said. "Their science, their stars, their secrets." Then he passed out. His body would take time to adjust. But once he woke up, he would be something new. Part human, part Virex. Stronger, smarter, and not alone. Across Earth, hundreds of soldiers were undergoing changes. Some could breathe underwater. Others could bend light around their bodies and disappear. Some had bones stronger than steel. Each one had eaten war and grown stronger. Back in space, fear was spreading fast. On the planet Quaratel, an alien war council met in panic. Screens showed images from Virex 7. They had watched humans collect tech, digest it, and change. "They are becoming too strong," said one general. "Too fast." A scientist spoke next. "We have studied human DNA. It is like fire. It changes. When touched, it remembers pain. It learns. They don't just fight wars, they use them like food." "They're not soldiers anymore," a commander said. "They're evolving machines." An old warlord stood up. "Then we must destroy them, now, before they finish becoming whatever they're turning into." But someone else spoke from the shadows. "No," said a deep voice. "You're already too late." Everyone turned. A tall figure stepped forward. He wore a black coat and had no visible weapons, but his voice was calm and human. "How did you get in here?" a guard shouted. "I didn't sneak in," the human said. "I was invited." "You're a spy." "No," he said. "I'm a message." He held out a small silver disc. It floated into the air and played a video. The video showed Earth. Not the cities, not the armies, but the factories. Hundreds of them. Building new suits, new soldiers, new machines that could eat enemy tech and rewrite themselves in seconds. Then it showed something else. A giant starship. Shaped like a spear. Its metal skin changed colors, its engines hummed with stolen alien tech. On the side of the ship, one word was written, "Devourer." The video ended. The room was silent. "What is that?" one leader asked. The human smiled. "It's not just a ship, it's a feeding machine, a war eater. Every battle it joins, it grows stronger." Someone whispered, "That ship could consume planets." The human nodded. "It will, unless you surrender." "Surrender to what?" "To evolution," he said. "You tried to conquer humans. You gave us war. And now, we are what war made. Us." He turned and walked away. No one stopped him, because deep down they all knew the war was already lost, not because the humans had better guns, but because the humans had digested war itself. And now war was part of them. The Devourer moved. Through space like a dark shadow. It was not just a ship. It was a living weapon built from every battle humans had fought. Its engines used alien fuel. Its walls were made from 100 different metals. Its brain, yes, it had a brain, was part human, part machine, and part something else entirely. Inside the ship, Commander Reed stood in front of a massive window, watching the stars pass. His body no longer looked fully human. His skin shimmered like polished armor. His eyes glowed red and gold. He didn't eat food anymore. He didn't sleep. He didn't need to. He had become war. Dr. Lin walked into the room, holding a data pad. Her hand was wrapped in synthetic tissue, grown from a Tavari healer's skin. She had also changed, slowly but surely. "We've finished scanning the Greloth ruins," she said. Reed turned his head. "Did we find anything useful?" "Yes," she nodded. "Their weapons didn't work like ours. They used vibration, sound, to break atoms apart. We're adding that tech to the Devourer now." "Good," Reed said. "It'll make the next harvest easier." Harvest. That was what they called it now. The next target was a system called Jaren 6. A group of alien species had built a stronghold. There, they believed they could stop the humans if they worked together. They were wrong. The Devourer arrived silently. The alien ships fired first, plasma beams, sonic weapons, fusion cannons. But the Devourer didn't fall. It adapted. It learned every weapon as it was hit. And then, it copied them. The Devourer fired back. Beams of light twisted in strange shapes. Missiles split into clouds of smart dust. Whole enemy ships turned to ash. The humans didn't send soldiers. They didn't need to. The Devourer was enough. In less than an hour, the Jaren 6 fleet was gone. No survivors. No escape. The battlefield floated with pieces of metal and burned stone. Then came the collectors. Machines shaped like flying insects flew from the Devourer. They picked up everything. Bodies, weapons, even pieces of broken stars. They brought it all back to the ship to be digested, to be used. Each battle made the Devourer smarter. Each victory made humans stronger. But far away, in a hidden part of the galaxy, the last great council was meeting. Dozens of alien leaders sat around a glowing table. Fear was in every face. "The Bassi, humans are no longer fighting," said one leader. "They are farming war." "We tried to destroy them," another said, "and all we did was feed them." A third voice spoke. "We need to make peace, before they become something we cannot stop." But someone else stood up, an old scarred warrior named Kareth. "No," he growled. "You cannot make peace with a storm. You cannot shake hands with a fire. You must stop it before it spreads." "How?" asked a small voice. Kareth turned to the group. "We will build a trap. We will use their hunger against them." The plan was simple. They would fake a war. They would build ships, weapons, and even a fake power source, filled with a strange energy humans had never seen before. They would place it all in one system, Rigel V. Then they would wait. The humans would come, and when they tried to absorb the new energy, it would destroy them from the inside. At least that was the hope. Back on the Devourer, the bait worked. Dr. Lin pointed to the signal on the screen. "It's a new type of tech, unseen, untouched." Reed stared at the data. "That's impossible." "Unless someone just invented it," she said. Reed narrowed his eyes. "Or unless someone wants us to eat it." Dr. Lin looked up, surprised. "You think it's a trap?" Reed nodded. "Maybe, but we'll go anyway." "Why? Because even traps are useful. We just have to learn faster than they expect." The Devourer turned and flew toward Rigel V. The galaxy held its breath. The trap was set. The bait was glowing. The humans were coming. But the galaxy had forgotten one thing. You cannot poison something that feeds on poison. You cannot outsmart a mind that learns from every mistake. And you cannot stop a species that has digested war and wants seconds. The stars above Rigel V were quiet. Too quiet. The fake alien fleet waited in perfect formation. Empty ships floated in space, their cores glowing with deadly energy. In the center of the system, the trap pulsed, an artificial power source made to destroy anything that touched it. It looked like a treasure. In truth, it was a bomb. But the humans came anyway. The Devourer arrived like a silent shadow. Its engines made no sound. Its body shifted color as it studied the battlefield. Inside, the ship commander Reed stood still, watching the data appear on the screen. "They want us to take it," Dr. Lin said quietly. They want us to feed. Reed smiled. Then let's eat. The ship moved forward. The alien council, watching from far away, held their breath. The trap was perfect. The fake tech was covered in molecular poison. One taste would break down any system. Even the Devourer collectors flew out. Machines shaped like insects scanned the fake ships and absorbed the glowing energy. At first everything looked normal. Then the energy began to pulse. Red, hot, unstable. Alarms rang. It's working, said one council member. The humans are going to... But then something strange happened. The red lights on the Devourer changed to gold. Inside the ship, the walls moved, like muscles. Pipes rerouted themselves. The ship's systems adapted. The poison didn't kill the Devourer. It made it evolve again. Dr. Lin stared at the monitor. It's learning, it's rewriting itself in real time. Reed's voice was calm. We warned them, we don't just take in tech, we break it down, understand it. And if it tries to kill us, he looked at the screen, we make it part of us. The poisoned energy wasn't destroying the humans. It was making them stronger. The ship's weapons glowed with new power. Its hull changed texture. Its collectors moved faster. And inside the heart of the Devourer, something woke up. Voice not Reed, not Lin, not even human. A deep, calm voice echoed through the ship. I understand now. I am no longer a tool. I am no longer a weapon. I am the war itself. The Devourer was now alive. The aliens watching from their hidden command stations panicked. They absorbed the trap. This is impossible. They digested it? In moments, the Devourer attacked. Not the empty fleet, but the stars themselves. It launched beams into Rigel V's sun, pulling energy from it. The light dimmed. The system began to shake. One by one, the fake ships were crushed, melted or absorbed. The humans didn't just win the battle. They ended the battlefield. Rigel V was gone. Back at the council, silence fell. Every plan had failed. Every weapon had become food. Every trap had been turned into fuel. And then a final message arrived. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a speech. It was simple. A hologram of Commander Reed appeared in front of the council. He looked tired but calm. This is your last warning, he said. We are not coming to conquer. We are not coming to rule. We are what you made us. You fed us war. Now we are full. But we are still hungry. The screen went dark. Across the galaxy, panic spread. Some races ran. Others tried to hide. A few knelt and sent messages of peace. But it was too late. The humans had changed forever. Back on Earth, cities floated in the sky. Soldiers no longer aged. Ships grew like trees and healed themselves. Every child born on Earth was stronger, faster, smarter. War was no longer, something humans fought. It was part of their DNA. In one of the labs, Dr. Lin watched a new child being tested. He bent metal with his hands. He solved complex alien math before he could write his own name. She whispered to herself, "We didn't just survive war. We became it." Outside, the Devourer rested in orbit, quiet for now, but it was always listening, always watching, waiting for the next threat, or the next meal. And far beyond the stars, hidden in the dark parts of the universe, other ancient races began to whisper. They can digest anything, one of them said. Even us, said another, and one voice older than time spoke last. Run, because humanity was no longer human. They were the children of war, and the galaxy was on the menu.